Everyone, and welcome to this workshop of the AIBC Hack, sponsored by Playnance and co-hosted by Blockcheck and CrowdHack. And today we have the pleasure to have with us Wladyslaw from Datami, who is going to give us some tips on cybersecurity and smart contract auditing. Thank you so much, Vlad, for being with us.
Thank you so much for the possibility to discuss the topic of today's meeting, which is tips on cybersecurity and smart contract auditing, because cybersecurity nowadays is a really important thing, because you know that companies spend a lot of money each year in order to make their systems really secure. That is why I believe that from the experience I have, I can share some tips that might be useful for the people who is going to join us, who is going to see the video recording of today's hackathon. So probably I can start from intro, what actually we do and how can we be useful, how can we provide some tips for the companies in order to make their systems more secure. So yeah, my name is Vlad, and I am the project manager of Datami cybersecurity company. Talking about our company, we have been providing cybersecurity services for more than 8 years. And basically, we're able to check and protect websites, mobile applications, databases, servers, APIs, local networks, smart contracts. So we have pretty much experience with cybersecurity in cybersecurity field. So I believe that the most important thing for cybersecurity of the systems of the website is penetration testing. Let me explain what does it mean. So if you're talking about penetration testing, it means the simulations and modulation of black hat hackers activity that are trying to find different vulnerabilities in a system. So that is illegal activity that have the main aim to crack the system and to obtain the data of the target. So in our company, we provide a simulation of this activity, trying to find different vulnerabilities in a system. So the black box can be conducted in 3 different modes. So the first mode is black box penetration testing, meaning that we don't have any access to the system. The only thing we have is just the URL, let's say, if you're talking about the website. So we act as a hacker from outside, trying to find different holes, trying to find different weaknesses in a system, trying to find different vulnerabilities. And we don't hack the system, but we have to eliminate and find these vulnerabilities and these weaknesses. So we provide a report where we include all the weaknesses we found with the classification of the risk level and also with recommendations how to properly eliminate them. Okay, so usually the weaknesses are being eliminated by the client side because the recommendations that we provide are more than enough in order the typical developers of the company to eliminate them. After that, we provide root testing, which is completely for free in order to make sure whether all the weaknesses in the system were eliminated. After that, we provide a final report. So the clients could use this report in different purposes, let's say for obtaining different certifications like HIPAA, GDPR, SOC 2, or just for the investors in order to show them documents. So let's see everything is good and everything is secured, so we can invest in our business and we can both earn as a result. And just for their reputation, and they can also use this report, so they can publish the final report without vulnerabilities with the community. So the community can trust. So community could be sure whether that their data wouldn't be stolen or compromised. Okay. And also, if you're talking about smart contract audits, so we have pretty much experience with it. So we do often cooperate with different blockchain fintech companies. We provide smart contract audits for them, breach token reviews as well. So we examine the code, we find different vulnerabilities, and we also provide the client with recommendations how to properly eliminate them. The scenario is almost the same, because we do also provide smart contract audits in two parts. The first part is just previous audit, so we provide the report with findings, and the client can eliminate the vulnerabilities with their own efforts. And after that, we provide re-auditing and provide the client with the final report. And also we can publish the news on our website with the certification that we provide after audit, so that everything was checked, everything is secured in the system. So let me share my screen. So there you can find some really useful tips for the cybersecurity, for the pen testing. Can you see my screen right now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so in terms of cybersecurity, you need to keep your software and operating system up to date to prevent vulnerabilities and exploits. So you may know that every day the new vulnerabilities coming, and different software companies they provide their customers with different updates in order to make sure whether there is no any exploit in the system. So also everyone should use strong and unique passwords for each account and consider using a password manager. It's very important because, for example, the easiest way to obtain an access to the system is just using by login an account and password. So it's really important to take care about that. Also, everyone should enable two-factor authentication whether possible, and add an extra layer of security of the accounts. So everyone should be wary of suspicious email or messages, and avoid clicking on links or downloading attachments from unknown sources, because it's the way of social engineering. And in this way, different persons that we call hackers, they can obtain an access to the system through this way. And everyone should regularly backup important data and store it in a secure location. And also they should use antivirus software to protect against malware and other threats. So if we're talking about penetration testing, everyone should, in the beginning, clearly define the scope of the pen test, including systems, networks, and applications to be tested. Everyone should use really experienced pen testers with references, with different certifications. So they should be professional company that provide pen test for the customer. Also, everyone should conduct both automated and manual tests, because if you're talking about automated scanning, they wouldn't provide the customer with the full and measurable information regarding vulnerabilities. So that should mean using the combination of two different approaches. Only this approach would provide the maximum information regarding all the weaknesses and vulnerabilities in a system. And everyone should document all findings and make some kind of prioritization according to severity. I mean, that's what we do in our company. So we provide the customers with different risk classification. I mean, critical, high, medium, low, and just informational message. So if you're talking about the elimination of vulnerabilities, the customer should start from the highest level of vulnerabilities, because they might be really they might affect all of their system, and in this way the data could be stolen. And also, yeah, follow up remediation recommendations and test to ensure vulnerabilities have been properly addressed. If you're talking about smart contract auditing, so carefully review and understand the smart contracts code and its intended functionality before performing an audit. Use industry standard tools and techniques to review the contracts code for security vulnerabilities, test the contracts functions and interactions with other contracts to ensure proper behavior, document all findings and prioritize them according to severity. So it's really similar to the penetration testing. Also follow up on remediation recommendations and retest to ensure vulnerabilities have been properly addressed. And there are just a few tips to keep in mind when it comes to cybersecurity, pen testing, and smart contract auditing. So it's always important to stay up to date on best practices and to seek out expert advice when needed. So, yep. Also, I want to share the list of tips on cybersecurity and smart contract auditing that we prepared with our engineers. So every company, every customer should follow best practices for coding. Follow coding best practices such as secure code standards, peer code reviews, and testing to minimize the risk of vulnerabilities being introduced. Also use formal verification tools. Use formal verification tools which can automatically prove the correctness of smart contracts algorithm and detect and prevent errors. Check for re-entry vulnerabilities. Check your smart contract for these vulnerabilities, which allow an attacker to execute a function multiply before it has completed. Use secure transfer methods such as HTTPC to protect data being transmitted over the network. Also use a multi-factor authentication. So it's really important because a lot of cases of such activity used to happen with different clients, and then they asked us to recover the system, to recover everything, because in this way hacker was able to obtain the access to the system due to brute force, because they just hacked the password and obtained the system access to the system. So it's really important to have multi-factor authentication. It allows to make making the access to the system really difficult for the hacker. Also implement continuous monitoring of your smart contract to detect any potential security threats as soon as they arise. Also develop an incident response plans that could be also disaster recovery plan that our company also helps to prepare in order the client to be sure what measures they should take if some kind of bad situation happens. Also use secure token standards such as ERC20 or ERC721 to ensure that your smart contract is compatible with other smart contracts and blockchain ecosystems. Also use sandbox environments which simulate a real environment to test your smart contract and identify any vulnerabilities. Implement access controls such as permissions and roles to restrict and access to sensitive functions and data within the smart contract. Also verify external dependencies such as middleware and oracles to ensure that they don't introduce vulnerabilities into your smart contract. Also consider using formal methods such as formal verification and model checking to gain a greater level of confidence in the correctness of your smart contract. Also use a secure coding framework such as open web application security projects. So we always rely on OWASP recommendations because they provide the best secure coding practices. So that can help ensure that smart contract were developed really in a secured way of coding. Also use audited code library that have passed security audits to decrease the risk of vulnerabilities that being introduced. Also perform ongoing risk assessments to identify new and emerging risks of your smart contract project. And by implementing these tips, you can ensure the security and reliability of your smart contract project and improve your chances of success in order not to be hacked by someone. So everyone should stay up to date with the latest security trends and technologies, and to work closely with the team of developers to identify and address any potential security risks. So to conclude everything, yeah, pen testing is an important part of cybersecurity because it helps organizations to identify vulnerabilities and weaknesses in their systems, networks, and applications by simulating and attacks against their own ecosystems. Organizations that can gain insight how a real attacker might attempt to compromise their systems and identify potential weaknesses that could be exploited. So also there are some key reasons why it's important to conduct pen testing. So everyone should identify vulnerabilities before attackers do, because pen testing can help organizations discover vulnerabilities and weaknesses in their systems before attackers have a chance to exploit them. This can help organizations proactively address these issues before they result in a security breach. Comply with regulations and standards. So many industries and regulatory bodies require pen testing as a part of their compliance requirements. So conducting regular pen testing can help organizations ensure they meet these requirements and avoid potential fines or penalties. Also improve security posture. So pen testing can help organizations identify areas of weaknesses in their security posture and provide recommendations on how to improve their overall security. Also, it helps to build customer trust. So demonstrating a commitment to security through regular pen testing can help organizations to build trust with their customers and stakeholders, and also stay ahead of emerging threats. So as new threats and attacks techniques emerge, regular pen testing can help organizations stay up to date and prepare to define against these threats. So overall, pen testing is an important part of an effective cybersecurity program and can help different organizations to identify and mitigate the potential security risk before they result in a security breach. So yeah, so the smart contract auditing is also an important part of blockchain security because it helps to identify vulnerabilities and weaknesses in the smart contracts code that could lead to loss of funds or other security issues. So smart contracts are self-executing programs that run on a blockchain and facilitate the exchange of assets, data, and other value. As smart contracts often hold large amount of funds or other assets, it's important to ensure they are secure and free from vulnerabilities. Also, there are some key reasons why it's important to conduct a smart contract audits. So the first point to ensure contract security. So a smart contract audit can help ensure the security of the contract and prevent potential attacks or vulnerabilities. So smart contract auditors, they can identify coding errors or vulnerabilities or bugs in the contract that could be exploited by attackers and provide some kind of recommendations in order to fix them. Also protect against loss of funds. So smart contract audits can help prevent loss of money, loss of reputation, because of vulnerabilities in a contract. And by identifying and addressing these issues before deployment, auditors can help ensure that the contract operates as intended and that funds are properly safeguarded. And also it helps to increase the trust and confidence. Smart contract audits can help increase trust and confidence in the contract among stakeholders, including users, developers, investors, in different kind of regulatory organizations. So demonstrating a commitment to security through regular audits can help build trust and confidence in the contracts and its underlying blockchain platform. Also comply with regulations and standards. So some organizations, they require smart contract audits as part of their compliance requirements. So conducting regular audits can help organizations or customers meet these requirements to avoid potential fines or penalties as well. Also improve the contract functionality. It's a really important part of smart contract audits because this can also improve the functionality of the contract by identifying areas where the code could be improved or optimized. By providing recommendations for improving the code, auditors can help enhance the performance and usability of the smart contract. To conclude, a smart contract audit is a really important step in ensuring the security and reliability of a blockchain platform and the contracts that run on it. And by identifying and addressing vulnerabilities and weaknesses in the code, auditors can help prevent potential security breaches and loss of funds and increase trust and confidence in the contract among stakeholders. Apart from that, let me show some case studies. I will start from pentest case studies. That is how the pentest case studies look like. So everything starts from scope. So whenever we have a different request, we prepare individual scope of work for our client, where we include information what actually is going to be tested there, how long it's going to take, and how much it's going to cost. And if the proposal fits fine to the requirements of the client, then we sign the contracts. I mean, first we sign the NDA, obviously. And after that, we prepare the scope of work, which is the proposal from our company. And after that, we sign the service agreement if the proposal was good enough for the client. So yeah, that is the structure. That is the short company overview. Okay, that is how usually we start our work. So everything starts from research phase. The first phase is manual web application testing, then open source intelligence, automating web application testing. Also, we provide scanning for open reports and available connections. Also, we check off standard pages for availability. Also, we check admin resource. Also, we scan for available directories, check the SSL and TLS certificates of the website, if you're talking about website penetration testing. And also we check the server and its protection. So checking the server for software vulnerabilities, also detection of vulnerabilities in the web environment of the server, checking the level of protection of a web resource is very important part of penetration testing that allows to identify all the weaknesses in the system. Also, we search for the real IP address of the website, so it allows us to bypass the protection of the website. Also, we include the DOS test to the scope of work. So if we are able to identify real IP address of the website, it's really easy to provide to conduct the DOS attack, because in this way the website wouldn't be really secure. in this way, we provide our another service, which is called protection 24/7. I mean, in this way, we're able to protect the website from the DOS attacks, from bots, parsers, SQL XSS injections, and from 99% of different external hazards. So we also help to hide the real IP address of the website in order not to allow for hackers to bypass the protection of the websites. Okay, let's go further. So usually businesses choose to conduct penetration testing in black box mode. Gray box also is a good way for penetration testing, but in this way we need to have like a test account. If we're talking about white box penetration testing, in this way we would need to have access to the server, access to the admin panel, and also to the source code of the application we're going to test. Yep. For example, we classify. We provide a classification of different risk level. So, for example, that is really good case study. So we found different vulnerabilities starting from high, from medium to low. Yeah. So, for example, that is the risk level, which is high. Also, description of the problem. So the vulnerability relate to no validation. Also, there are recommendations how to eliminate these vulnerabilities. So you can rely that it's really easy for the customer to eliminate the vulnerabilities. Yeah, that is another case. In this way, we are able to find critical vulnerabilities. So it was really easy to access the router control panel, and it was really high. It was really critical vulnerability that we asked our clients to remove immediately, because there was possibility for the hackers to harm the activity of the business. Yeah. After that, we provide the reports, and after that we provide retesting. Okay. So it was pen test case studies. Let me show you them. Smart contract audits. Okay. Yeah, so we used to provide smart contract audit. Also, it was more about token, but it's almost the same as smart contract. This report is available for public review. So that is the real case of the security audit that we perform. The client is not under NDA, and and the report is available for publicity, so I can share it to you. Yeah, okay, so that is the scope of work. The scope of work was SHA-1 token. The language used is Solidity. That is the structure of the smart contract. The audit was performed between these dates, and also provide a summary. During the assessments, our team identified 0 critical vulnerabilities, 0 high risk problems. We were able to identify one medium risk vulnerabilities and 2 low risk vulnerabilities and 3 informational aspects. Let me show them to you. So that was the first vulnerability we were able to identify. So it's medium risk level vulnerability. Also, we provided the recommendations how to eliminate them. So the client needed to apply the check effects in interactions pattern. So the instructions how to properly eliminate all these vulnerabilities also were included to the report. Also, the second vulnerability, the return value of an external call is not stored in a local or state variable. And it was a low risk level vulnerability, and recommendations. The client need to ensure that all the return variables or the function calls are used. The third vulnerability, also you can see that recommendations are really how can I say, really short, but they are really useful in order to avoid different weaknesses and vulnerabilities. Risk level, which is called information, this kind of vulnerabilities, they cannot affect on the security of the smart contracts or tokens, but they can just make the functionality much more better for the functioning of the smart contract or token. Yeah.